Welcome back to Primetime News, and a special welcome if you're watching online at onespotmedia.com. Up first this evening, there was great anticipation as the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line's Adventure of the Seas docked at the Falmouth Pier in Trelawney this afternoon. Unfortunately for the relatives who were hoping to reunite with their loved ones who'd been stranded on the vessel for weeks, that did not happen. The processing of the over 1,000 crew will begin tomorrow. Now our team coverage begins with Anthony Lugg.
From a far glance, the ship came over the horizon. In a matter of minutes, it drew closer. And within an hour, the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line's ship, Adventures of the Seas, docked at the Falmouth Pier in Trelawney shortly after noon on Tuesday. It's the moment those on board, along with relatives and friends, have been waiting for.
Them dip on the ship and I cry, seeing I have a child, right? Everybody that is on the ship, they belongs to somebody. Their mothers, their fathers, their sisters. Everybody have somebody who they're related to. Carry them off, man. How much, why you want him cry, blood?
We're happy. We're happy. So we've been on the phone back and forth with her from morning. So she says it's a relief and she thank God and she's very happy. And she said after so many days, she's just happy to be here.
Anxious to reunite, Jamaicans aboard moved to the balconies of their cabins to get a glimpse of Jamaica's soil, something they've been longing to do for months now.
The long wait for the arrival of this Royal Caribbean cruise ship is over. But for those on board, the wait continues. Our information is that the area should remain sterile for the initial arrival of the ship, while the government and health officials work out the protocols for the unloading of passengers. That's expected to begin tomorrow.
Those disembarking will be tested in the sterile area being set up around the port. However, all will not disembark at the same time. Instead, they will come off the ship in batches of 200 every 48 to 72 hours, which means the process of getting all on land could take up to 2 weeks. The views were mixed.
They've been on board for over 2 months. And for most of that 2 months, they've been in quarantine. You locked inside, including they were put back in quarantine upon sailing inside here. So as far as I'm concerned, the agreement was to put them back in quarantine. By the time they got here, they would do the remainder of the 14 days in quarantine on the ship, and then we take it over from there, which I think is fair.
As long as I'm not positive, let them go and see their family.
Also on location were representatives from the parliamentary opposition. Dr. Wickham McNeil spoke with our news team.
I think that the reality is that what they have to do is sit down and work out the protocols that are necessary, both for arrival by air and by arrivals by sea. Be very clear what those are, what are in the best interest of the Jamaican people. Communicate that to our partners. Our partners will understand they want a safe destination as well. And so what you do is, it's part of that clarity that makes things work. Even if they're harsh decisions, take them, but once everyone knows what the rules are and the regulations, they will follow them. And I think that's what the government needs to do.
Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.
Now, as Herman mentioned earlier, we have team coverage on this story. Our reporter, Dwayne Anderson, was also in Falmouth, Trelawney earlier today. Dwayne?
Thank you, Janela. So good evening to our viewers. So the overriding emotion today for Jamaicans who gathered at the Falmouth Pier was joy. Whether relatives on board or just ordinary well-wishers, most persons who gathered there were just happy the hundreds of Jamaicans aboard the vessel had finally docked in Jamaica. The Royal Caribbean cruise rolled into the Falmouth Pier at 12 midday Tuesday, but eager relatives and well-wishers were out from as early as 10 a.m. It was a mission in solidarity for some persons, while for others, they just wanted their eyes to confirm that their loved ones had finally docked in Jamaica. Some persons brought out their Jamaica flags. Others returned waves to the occupants aboard the ship. These Jamaicans are relieved one leg of the nightmare is over for their fellow Jamaicans.
Well, I'm happy that they're here now. Actually, I closed down work just to be here to witness this live. Trust me, there was a time when, I feel proud to be a Jamaican, but I've been having second thoughts recently. If your own country, have you out there on water for eight weeks, trust me, man, I'm happy they're here.
This is a good occasion
that as a Jamaican, I can come to sympathize and to align with my fellow Jamaican coming home after such an ordeal at sea.
People are Jamaicans, they should be brought home. I don't think there should be any negotiation with. And if they come home and they follow the guidelines that is put in place by the health authorities, that is quarantined for 14 days. But the people are on the seas for a long time, and that is very frustrating. So I think the Prime Minister has the right to bring them home.
All this time, police, soldiers and private security guards kept watch, including over the media, who were not allowed too close to the sterile area. This area was really a big white tent occupied by health personnel, as well as personnel from the Passport, Immigration and Citizens Agency, PICA. They will be responsible for processing the more than 1,000 Jamaicans aboard the ship.
I don't have the manifest, and I have not been privy to the manifest. Okay. But what I can tell you is that 1,040 Jamaicans will be coming off. We're preparing for them. I'm not sure as to how long the ship will be here, but we do have facilities in place to accommodate the ship. My understanding is that there are 300 other persons that are on the ship that are not Jamaicans. Those persons will not be permitted to disembark.
After disembarking the cruise ship, the Jamaicans will be taken to the Bahia Principe Hotel in St. Anne for mandatory quarantine of 14 days. Dwayne Anderson, TVJ News. You know, Janela, for me, one of the biggest takeaways from today was how so many persons who had no direct link to this case, meaning they have no relatives on the ship, could find time out of their day to come extend well wishes to the returning Jamaicans. Now, tomorrow, I will share the story of a family that has been surviving while a key member was at sea aboard the cruise vessel. It's back to you, Janela.
Thank you so much, Dwayne. We're looking forward to that. Herman, it's over to you.